Welcome to another edition of Sports Talk in the Dorm with Seth Travelstead. I'm Seth Travelstead. And remember, folks, this show is better than ESPN. Better than when Matt Jones ran all over Texas. Better than when D-Mac was yelling, "We got that wood, we got that wood," when we beat LSU in 3 OTs. So we're going to get this thing started with Bret Bielema, the Arkansas head coach. Uh, Great coach from Wisconsin. Yes, Wisconsin. Anyway, now he's at Arkansas, raised on a pig farm in Illinois. Um, Came to Arkansas, was assistant coach at Iowa. Then went to Kansas State. No, yeah. And then ended up defensive coordinator for Wisconsin. And so then he got accepted to be the head coach at Wisconsin after the head coach helped him get that position, who is now the Wisconsin athletic director, who is going to coach them in the Rose Bowl. So great hire for Arkansas, and we're looking at recruits who will come. He is a great coach. He does it real hard. Like, he will get everybody pumped up. So woo pig suey on that one right there. And then we got the Arkansas Razorbacks beating Oklahoma Tuesday night, 81-78. Marshawn Powell with 33 points. Wade and B.J. Young had 10 points. B.J. had some big shots coming up late. Some magic in Bud Walton Arena. And he also had 8 assists. They take on Michigan at Michigan. Michigan is 8-0 and are number 3 in the country. So with that, they got big game coming up. And that game is 11 a.m. on CBS Saturday. And now I'm going to run through the 2012-13 College Football Bowl schedule. It's the College Bowl picks rundown right here. In the dorm with Seth Travelstead. The New Mexico Bowl, we got Arizona versus Nevada, and the intelligent Seth Travelstead right here picking Arizona. That game is December 15th on ESPN at 1 o'clock. And so, next game is the Idaho Potato Bowl against Utah State and Toledo. And I got Utah State December 15th at 4:30. These are all Eastern times, by the way, for the Central folks back in Arkansas. Woo Pig Suey again. Just have to say that because Woo Pig Suey is the best thing you could ever say. Just so you know. Ball State versus UCF. And the intelligent folks here, me, in the dorm with Seth Travelstead. So I'm just the only one picking these, and I got UCF. So if you disagree, you don't know what you're talking about. Okay. And we got East Carolina versus Louisiana Lafayette. And I got Lafayette winning. That's December 22nd at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, ESPN. And all the games are on ESPN unless I say otherwise. Boise State versus Washington is the next game. That is the Las Vegas Bowl. That's December 22nd at 3:30 p.m. And I got Boise State winning that game. Great team at Boise. Great head coach in Chris Peterson. That's a Peterson with an E at the end. And now we got Fresno State and SMU in the Sheridan Hawaii Bowl. That game is on New Year's Eve. and that game will start at 8 p.m. Eastern time, by the way. And I got uh, Fresno State in that game. Uh, Great offense, scoring a lot of points, and I don't think that SMU can keep up. And that's the SMU coach who used to coach Hawaii, so he's coming back to Hawaii because the game's in Honolulu, Hawaii, where he coached. But now he coaches at SMU. So a lot of pressure on him. And now we got Western Kentucky versus Central Michigan. And this pretty much is the only game Central Michigan ever goes to because they play here like every year and in Detroit, Michigan. And that's Wednesday, December 26th, the day after Christmas. And I have Western Kentucky, the Sun, representing the Sun Belt, to win that game. And now we got the Military Bowl. Bowling Green versus San Jose State. Got San Jose State. That game, December 27th, 3 p.m. Duke and Cincinnati are playing in the Belk Bowl. And I got Cincinnati. Then the Bridgeport Education Holiday Bowl. Yeah, weird names right here. They got the Baylor versus UCLA in California, San Diego, December 27th. And I got the UCLA Bruins winning that game. ULM versus Ohio in the Independence Bowl, December 28th, 2 p.m. I got ULM. They beat Arkansas, so they better win or I'm be not happy. Because they should play like how they play against us the whole year, but they didn't. Okay, anyway. Rutgers versus Virginia Tech in the Russell Athletic Bowl. That's the 28th at 5:30, and I got Rutgers upsetting Virginia Tech. Another person who beat Arkansas. Yeah. Shouldn't have. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. That's what you gotta say in them kind of games. Anyway, Texas Tech, Minnesota. I got Texas Tech winning that one in the Car Care Bowl of Texas. And then in the Helicopter Armed Forces Bowl, I got Rice over Air Force. The New Era Pinstripe Bowl in Bronx, New York, West Virginia, and Syracuse, I got West Virginia University from the Big 12. Yes, they switched over from the Big East last year. So they're in the Big 12 this year, and they play Syracuse. And then in the Kraft Fight Hunger Bowl, Arizona State versus Navy, and I got ASU, Arizona State University, to win that game. And then in the the Alamo Bowl, I got Oregon State versus Texas. Texas Longhorns. Anyway, I can't say this, but I got Texas winning. I respect Texas, but I hate Texas at the same time. Because, of course, we pay Suri for like the third time. Anyway, the Buffalo Wild Wings, that's a great place, by the way. You should go eat there. I do every Sunday night. Because it's half off for college students. Just so you know. It's fantastic, and I love it. I get wings every time. Anyway, Michigan State versus TCU. I got TCU winning that game in Tempe, Arizona. That game is December 29th at 10:15. Now we got NC State, North Carolina State versus Vanderbilt in the Morgan City Music City Bowl in Nashville. And I've got Vanderbilt winning that one. That one's December 31st at 12. And then in the Sun Bowl, USC versus Georgia Tech. USC's struggled, kind of like Arkansas. But unlike Arkansas, USC is in a bowl game because they play in the Pac-12, which ain't as good as the SEC. They can struggle and still win games in the the Pac-12, but unlike the Pac-12, the SEC is the hardest conference in America. Obviously, and I got USC in that game. And then AutoZone Liberty Bowl, we got Iowa State versus Tulsa. Never been a big fan of Tulsa, so going for Iowa State. And yeah, you can talk crap if you like Tulsa, but I don't really care because Iowa State already beat them earlier in the year, the first game of the year. So say what you will, but Iowa State's gonna win that game. Their coach is fantastic. I like their coach. And then we got LSU and Clemson in the Chick-fil-A Bowl. And I got LSU, SEC team representing. December 31st, 7:30. That game's going to be a great game to watch. Y'all should tune into that one. I don't like LSU, but SEC team. Got to go with them. Anyway, I got Oklahoma State in the heart of Dallas Bowl against Purdue. Purdue just got a head coach, so they ain't going to get the coach to coach the ball game. So look to see Oklahoma run that game. Mike Gundy, he's staying at Oklahoma State, was going to maybe go to Tennessee, Arkansas, Auburn. He was in the mix, but he's staying in Stillwater, Oklahoma to coach Oklahoma State. And now in the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl, we got Mississippi State, Northwestern, and Mississippi State is going to win that game because that's what I have picked, because the experts is me, and I'm an expert in the bowl pickings. And then we got the Capital One Bowl, Georgia versus Nebraska. And Georgia's going to win. I'm a big SEC guy, but you will later see that I do not pick an SEC team. Who could it be? Huh? Okay. We'll see in a minute. Now, South Carolina versus Michigan in the Outback Bowl. I have South Carolina beating Michigan, SEC team. The Rose Bowl, Stanford versus Wisconsin. The Wisconsin athletic director is going to be coaching for Wisconsin, so I got Stanford in that game. These games are January 1st. They're BCS Bowls. And now the Discover Orange Bowl, obviously, I get Florida State to beat Northern Illinois. Northern Illinois should not even be in the tournament. They're going to get embarrassed bad by Florida State. So now we got Florida versus Louisville in the Sugar Bowl, and Florida wins that one. Now we got the Fiesta Bowl. Oregon beats Kansas State, and that's what I have picked, and that's what's going to happen. Big believer in some Ducks right there. AT&T Cotton Bowl. Here it is, Oklahoma versus Texas A&M, and I have Oklahoma Sooners winning that game. The SEC, or the new SEC, Texas A&M playing their old conference, Big 12, Oklahoma, and I bet Oklahoma treats them like their little step cousin. And does that even make sense? Step cousin? Is that even possible? I don't know, but that's what I just said. And I get Oklahoma winning that game. Then in the Compass Bowl, we got Ole Miss beating Pittsburgh. And in the GoDaddy Bowl, Arkansas State fans, I'm sorry, but I got Kent State winning that one. Actually, I'm not sorry, but I got Kansas State winning that game. So you can boo me all you want to. And then the BCS National Championship Bowl game, January 7th at 8:30 on ESPN. It's going to be Alabama versus Notre Dame. And obviously, I have Alabama winning that game. And I'm not excited about it, but I do. And that's your last look at the bowl pickings. And this has been In the Dorm, Sports Talk in the Dorm with Seth Travelstead. So Woo Pig Suey, and I'm out.